Hi, this is Duncan Moore, and we're going to make up a mini version of a natural lean-to shelter, something that you can put up quite easily in the woods, and something that you could have fire in front of, keep yourself warm overnight, not too much involved in building it compared to some of the more in-depth shelters. So these are going to be representative of 2 trees we've found to build the shelter around. Now what we're going to find is we're going to find 2 V sticks. Now these obviously everything's going to be to scale, so you're going to need to build it to size. And then you're going to find your ridgepole, which is going to come across here. Now if you're building this on your own, you're going to have to wedge this in there, put that at an angle, and bring that up and wedge that in there. One's a bit short. We're going to keep these main ones at a bit of an angle so they're pushing the weight into the trees. And once you've got that set there, you've got a strongest ridgepole there, and it all being held up together, all the weight and the pressure there. So we've pre-cut some to go along the back edge. So you're going to have, what you're going to do now is clear out the area you need before I put them on. Now you're happy that it works in that area, clear the area out to make sure you're not going to have any insect nests or wasps nests, and also just to make it more comfortable, you're not going to have any insects while you're spending the night there all the time there. And then we can start to put our back screen in. And what we are going to do eventually is we're going to thatch this at the end. So you need to get the angle right on your back wall. If you come too steep, you're not going to get much room under here to live in or do whatever you want to do under there. If you come too shallow and have it too long, if it rains, you're not going to get the natural runoff on the thatch. The water's going to sit there and start to penetrate through. So we need to get the angle right. So we want to find a nice angle where it's just obviously the reason we're doing the scaled down version is it saves a lot of time on the video. If you're doing this life size, it's obviously going to take you a lot more preparation time and thatching, etc. Now as an option as well, you can either have this open as a quick fix, or if you wanted to put more of a bed in there, you can put a small wall down either side. So for that we've prepared some stakes. So you'd bang some small stakes in here and cut some logs as a wall. So there's a very quick demo on how you would have that. But so you could put a couple of stakes in and build up a staked in wall down the side. This would allow you to have a higher cot bed off the ground, and also keep some of the breeze out of the stake. Sometimes easier doing it on a real scale than a small scale. So you can have that. So that's just a retaining wall, so you can build up a bit of bedding underneath if you need to. Okay, so now we've got the main structure of our back wall and the roof. So we're going to now do some thatching. So for the sake of the demonstration, we've got some Leylandi here. which have been picked. Now what we're going to do is start at the bottom with thatching, and you want all the pieces facing upright. So you're going to have that flow on there. So that's going to help with your drainage of the water. So as these are all on there, as in a thatched cottage, the water's going to run down. If you have it up that way, the water's going to effectively be held up, and then it will start to penetrate through and drip on your head, which you don't want. So starting at the bottom with your thatch, and then you work your way up towards the top. Now I know you can't see that from that camera angle, but we're going from the bottom over the top and working our way up towards the ridge pole. That then gives us less chance of ingress from the water. Now you want to try and make sure the thatching's quite stable and knitted in with each other. So as you're putting your thatching in, you can push under some of the others just to get them locked in. So push some branches under the other ones to hold it all in place. And it gives for a much more stable thatch structure that isn't going to fall down. And as we get to the top of the ridgepole, we've got some that are just slightly hooked or snapped off, so we can just rest them over the top of the ridgepole, just to give that top layer a bit of stability and a bit of protection to not fall back down. Just trying to knit them in with each other. So obviously this is something you could work on over time. If you was in an area for a long time, you could improve it. There's plenty of room for improvement, but it's a very quick shelter to get up if you needed it quickly, or for a demonstration, or even if you just wanted a shelter for the night. It's good for a single person. So you're going to have your living area in here, which you could thatch out, build up with brush and leaf litter if needs be, and you could have a fire outside. Having the fire out here, benefit of this is you're going to get the warmth from the fire there, and the back wall is also going to reflect the heat down to you while you're all snug inside your lean-to shelter. If it gets really cold, you could have a long log fire out the front here, which is going to give you a full length of warmth. So yeah, so there we have a natural lean-to shelter.